Yeah, it was my first time ever in the US. So I basically booked the flight to Chicago, took a cab ride down to Union Station because that university was a few hours outside of Chicago.
Okay.
And took a Western, middle of the road, no, like Western Illinois University.
You're kidding me.
What,
I went there my freshman year of college.
You did?
Yes,
Yeah.
Leathernecks?
Macomb.
Wow, Macomb, Illinois.
Middle
Oh
of
my
nowhere.
god. That's crazy. Western Illinois. I have not met anyone from Western Illinois in my life.
Well, both my wife Michelle and I went there. So she
You're
did her entire
kidding
undergrad
me.
there. She did her undergrad in 3 years instead of 4. And I just came in for a master's. We met there. 3 weeks in, we meet each other, and the rest is history. All right, Jack Bosch. I live in the Phoenix, Scottsdale, Arizona area. My company is Land Profit Generator, is what we do as teaching people land flipping, and that's what we do: land investing, land flipping.
So as Ian here from Disruptors, here, Jack Bosch. He came all the way from Scottsdale, Arizona. We're going to find out a little bit about himself. So we had a long conversation before this, but before we get back into your family, you're the land guy. That's what I always hear. You're the land guy. And you were expressing to me how land's easier. I've heard this before. Anyone that's still in the fence about land, what would you tell them over trying to hop over that fence?
Well, first of all, to understand that there's many different ways of real estate investing, and even there's many different ways of land investing. Okay. And most people hear land, they think it's the multi-million-dollar lot in downtown, whatever, Chicago or downtown Atlanta that's going to cost fortune to develop, that's gonna take years to do something with, and that's highly complicated. Well, that is one way of real estate investing, one way of land investing. That's not our way. We flip land just like just like house flippers flip houses, or like wholesale land, like wholesalers wholesale houses, like you guys do, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. And that is actually way simpler than any kind of house flipping. That's the right word. We stumbled into land. We did not know it existed. There's nobody teaching it. We wanted to get into real estate. We actually listened to an infomercial by Ron LeGrand back in the days. So we attended tax deed auctions, and at tax deed auctions, we were outbid like crazy. And then finally one day we had that thought. And the thought was particularly around the tax delinquent side, about the fact that people didn't pay property taxes, and there's properties that went to tax deed auction or to the tax lien auction that were foreclosed on. We were like, who does that? And we had one thought, and that thought was, if somebody doesn't want their property so much that they even stop paying property taxes, but it takes 3 to 5 years for that property to actually go to foreclosure or go to a tax sale, what if we could find out who these people are right now and perhaps send them a letter? Nobody needs to learn all the complications of houses. We don't really need to know a whole bunch about real estate here. All we need to know is figure out what is it worth, how to find the people who don't want it anymore. And we started doing deals. In our first deal, the first year we did 63 deals. Next year we did 150 deals as a couple of 2, no outside help, that's it. And then from there we then started hiring people and brought it up for a couple of years to 800 deals a year.
So you've been able to balance real estate and family and keep your family together and travel and see all this stuff. But I feel like a lot of people in real estate, it's like head down, work. They don't have that freedom. What advice do you give someone that said, hey, I got into real estate, I want to have more time for my family? How do you balance that so they can do real estate but still have time with their family?
That's a tough one. Can go multiple places with that. So the first thing I would say is understand that real estate flipping is not the end goal. It's a means goal. What the heck? It's the means to an end. What is the end goal that you're looking for? Yeah. The end goal is you don't want to flip another house. You like the adrenaline rush of it, yes, and you like the dopamine hit of it. It's like, yeah, I got it, right? But what's the end goal? The end goal is most people get into real estate in order to be financially free and have time. So make sure you put that, you keep that in front of you.
Yep.
Right. So when you make money, there's a time to hustle. And we hustled. Michelle and I, we worked 6.5 days for the first 5 years. But it's a means to an end. It's a way to make a ton of money so that you can roll that money over into something else. And now we've built up a portfolio of almost 1,000 apartments. Now we own those apartments, and those apartments, they spit out a cash flow that will for the rest of our lives enable us to live the life that we want to do.
A means to an end. I like that. And that everyone that's watching, a means to an end means that you subscribe. And then for your end goal, for more time off, that's why you listen to the podcast. Make sure you tune in Jack Bosch podcast and tune in to Real Estate Disruptors.
Do that.